me?
2 cards. You get my message?
Yeah.
It took you long enough to get.
Set against the rugged backdrop of the Old West, the 1967 film The War Wagon brought together 2 towering Hollywood legends, John Wayne and Kirk Douglas. Directed by Burt Kennedy and produced by Marvin Schwartz, the movie was adapted from Claire Huffaker's novel, bringing a gripping story of revenge and greed to the screen. Universal Pictures handled its release, ensuring the film reached a wide audience eager for action and drama. Behind the scenes, tension simmered between Wayne and Douglas, leading to a memorable clash that shaped the production's atmosphere. This rivalry added an extra layer of intensity to their on-screen interactions, making the film not only a classic Western, but also a story of personal retaliation and power struggles during filming. The War Wagon features a strong supporting cast including Joanna Barnes, Bruce Stern, Howard Keel, Robert Walker Jr., and Keenan Wynn, all of whom bring depth and energy to the story. What makes this film particularly notable is John Wayne's role, which marks a significant change from his usual characters. For the first time in his long career, Wayne plays a bad guy, and he does it with such success that it makes you wonder why he hadn't taken on such a role earlier. His performance adds a fresh layer to the movie, showing a side of the legendary actor that audiences hadn't seen before. This departure from his typical heroic roles gives the film a unique edge, and highlights Wayne's versatility as an actor. The combination of the talented supporting cast and Wayne's unexpected turn keeps the story engaging and memorable.
It took you long enough to get here.
I had things to do.
Those 2 men I sent for you, what happened to them?
In this gripping tale, a man takes on the role of the leader of a group determined to seize control of a heavily armored war wagon. This wagon is no ordinary vehicle. It is guarded by a powerful Gatling gun and a force of 32 armed men, making it a formidable prize. His old enemy, played by Kirk Douglas, joins forces with a diverse crew of outcasts and misfits, each bringing their own skills and grit to the mission. The war wagon itself stands out as one of the most captivating elements of the story, designed with great detail to showcase its strength and the danger it represents. The plot unfolds as these characters navigate challenges and face off against the wagon's guards, blending tension and action in a classic showdown. Their quest to capture the war wagon drives the narrative forward, highlighting themes of rivalry, teamwork, and daring adventure. The story keeps the audience engaged with its mix of strategic planning and explosive confrontations, all centered around the quest for this heavily fortified prize.
Always smoke like that.
Yeah.
One of the most memorable aspects of the film is the sharp, cynical dialogue exchanged between Wayne and Douglas. Their banter adds a layer of wit and cleverness to the story, especially during a key moment when they recruit some Native Americans to drag branches behind their horses. This old Indian trick creates a cloud of dust, designed to fool Bruce Cabot into thinking his wagon is under attack by Indians. Douglas, half joking and half serious, asks Wayne if he really thinks Cabot will fall for such an old trick again. Wayne's dry reply, "They'd better," captures the film's mix of humor and tension perfectly. This exchange not only highlights the characters' cleverness and resourcefulness, but also shows their understanding of their opponent's predictable nature. The trick works, and the dust cloud fools Cabot, proving that sometimes old tricks still hold power. This dialogue moment stands out as a fine example of the film's sharp writing and the chemistry between the lead actors, making it a highlight that sticks with viewers long after the action ends. The film was adapted from Claire Huffaker's novel titled Badman, which first appeared in 1957. Huffaker revealed that he completed the novel in about 10 days, showcasing a swift and focused creative process. This source material laid the foundation for the movie, capturing the attention of filmmakers eager to bring the story to the screen. In June of 1966, John Wayne publicly announced that he had entered into a 2-picture agreement with Universal Studios. The 2 films involved in this deal were The War Wagon and The Green Beret. This announcement marked a significant moment in Wayne's career, signaling his continued collaboration with major studios and his involvement in projects that promised action and adventure. The War Wagon, drawing directly from Huffaker's novel, was set to benefit from Wayne's star power and Universal's production capabilities, aiming to translate the gripping narrative of the book into a cinematic experience. This partnership between the author's work and Wayne's acting legacy created anticipation for the film's release and its place within the Western genre. The films would be co-produced between John Wayne's company, Batjack Productions, and producer Marvin Swartz. This collaboration marked a significant moment in the film industry, as it brought together two influential figures in Hollywood. The War Wagon was based on a story by the talented author Claire Huffaker, and it was notable for being the 11th book of Huffaker's that was sold to the movies. His works had gained popularity, and this particular adaptation showcased his ability to craft engaging narratives that resonated with audiences. As a result of this success, Trident Publishing recognized Huffaker's talent and put him under contract to write a book a year for 5 years. This contract not only solidified his status as a prominent writer, but also ensured a steady stream of material for future film adaptations. The partnership between Batjack Productions and Marvin Swartz, combined with Huffaker's literary prowess, contributed to the film's appeal and its place in the Western genre. The War Wagon stands as a testament to the fruitful collaboration between these creative forces in the 1960s.
Dealing? For the money. I'm gonna have me $100,000.
In July of 1966, Burt Kennedy signed on to direct the film, marking a key moment in the production's timeline. That same month, it was announced that Kirk would co-star, setting the stage for a compelling collaboration. Filming began on September 19, 1966. And continued for a total of 12 weeks, a duration that allowed for careful attention to detail and a well-paced shooting schedule. The choice of Durango, Mexico, as the primary filming location provided authentic and rugged outdoor settings ideal for the movie's atmosphere. Many of the interior scenes were filmed in Mexico City, offering a contrast to the open landscapes and contributing to the film's overall visual texture. This combination of locations helped create a believable and immersive world, reflecting the director's vision and the production team's efforts during those months.
Mr. Pierce, that's all.
Yeah. What's your answer?
A strong and positive relationship was established between the Hollywood production team and the Mexican crew during the making of the War Wagon, which helped the filming process run smoothly and without major issues. This collaboration allowed for effective communication and a shared commitment to the project, creating an atmosphere where challenges could be addressed quickly. The writer, who was responsible for both the novel and the screenplay, played an active role on set, spending the first 3 weeks and the last 3 weeks of production closely involved with the filming. This presence enabled the writer to make several adjustments to the script as needed, ensuring that the story stayed true to the original vision while adapting to the realities of the production. The writer's hands-on approach helped maintain continuity and clarity in the narrative, contributing to the overall success of the film's development.
Hello, Max.
The War Wagon featured extensive second unit work, especially in its stunt scenes, which were overseen by Cliff Lyons. His supervision ensured that the action sequences were both thrilling and safe, contributing significantly to the film's dynamic feel. Throughout the movie, John Wayne can be seen wearing a distinctive silver bracelet. This bracelet was not just a costume piece. It held personal meaning for Wayne. It was a gift from tribesmen he met during one of his visits to Vietnam, a token that appeared in many of his films. The presence of this bracelet added a subtle layer of authenticity and personal history to his character, reflecting Wayne's real-life experiences and connections beyond Hollywood. This blend of professional stunt work and personal touches helped shape the unique atmosphere of the film.
Saying about me? Yeah, we're gonna die, let's all have...
Ed Ames, both an actor and singer, delivers the opening theme song for the film, setting a tone that captures the spirit of the story. His voice carries the mood of the movie, drawing viewers into the unfolding drama. The War Wagon itself plays a crucial role in the film, serving as more than just a prop. It was constructed primarily from plywood and other lightweight materials, cleverly designed to appear as though it were made of solid iron. This illusion of strength and durability was essential for the visual impact and storytelling, making the War Wagon a believable and imposing vehicle within the narrative. The craftsmanship behind the War Wagon reflects the film's attention to detail, balancing practicality with the need for authenticity on screen. This combination of a memorable theme song and a visually convincing war wagon helps anchor the film's atmosphere and engages the audience throughout the story.
Grab all you can anytime you can.
The skill of prop designers in the 1967 movie, The War Wagon, is truly remarkable. They have the ability to transform ordinary materials into objects that appear entirely different from what they really are. For example, materials that aren't metal at all are crafted and treated so carefully that they look like heavy iron. This illusion is not just visual but also auditory. When these props are used on set, they produce the deep, metallic sounds one would expect from iron doors opening and closing. This attention to detail enhances the realism of the scenes, making viewers believe that the entire war wagon is constructed from solid iron. The combination of visual craftsmanship and sound effects works together to create a convincing experience, showing how prop designers contribute significantly to the authenticity and atmosphere of the film. Their work goes beyond simple decoration. It brings the story to life by fooling the senses, making the audience feel as if they are truly witnessing heavy iron machinery in action. This kind of artistry is a vital part of filmmaking, especially in westerns like The War Wagon, where the look and feel of equipment and vehicles must match the rugged setting. The careful design and sound integration demonstrate the creative ingenuity behind the scenes and how it supports the storytelling by making the props believable and immersive.
Dumb Indians.
Looks like they're getting ready to move out.
For many years, at least through the 1980s, the deteriorating remains of the war wagon from the movie The War Wagon were on display in the Boneyard at Universal Studios. This area was part of their backlot tour, where visitors could see a variety of props used in different films. The War Wagon, a significant piece from the film, was among many items that were just sitting there, slowly wasting away. The Boneyard was a treasure trove for movie fans, showcasing the remnants of Hollywood's past. Over time, the War Wagon became a symbol of nostalgia for those who remembered the film and its characters. Eventually, in the 1990s, the wagon was moved to Universal Studios in Orlando. This relocation allowed a new generation of visitors to appreciate the craftsmanship and history of the wagon. The journey of the War Wagon reflects the broader story of how film artifacts are preserved and remembered even as they age and change over time. One of the more curious details about the 1967 movie The War Wagon is the fact that one hub of the wagon used in the film was originally part of a piece of John Deere farm equipment. This is clearly shown by the John Deere name cast into the metal of the hub, revealing a practical reuse of materials that adds an unexpected layer of authenticity or perhaps convenience to the movie's production. When it comes to the weaponry featured on the war wagon, the Gatling gun used employs a long stick magazine to feed bullets into the gun. This magazine attaches to the top of the gun, positioned perpendicular to the barrel, which is a classic design for this type of firearm. However, the design of the war wagon's gun turret is quite tight and leaves no room for the magazine to be properly attached. As a result, when the Gatling gun is shown firing in the film, it is very obvious that there are no magazines attached to it, which stands out to careful viewers. This detail highlights some of the challenges filmmakers face when trying to balance historical accuracy, practical effects, and the limitations of the set design. The use of an actual John Deere hub on the wagon and the visible absence of the magazine on the Gatling gun together create an interesting mix of authenticity and cinematic compromise.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, that slug you put in me kept me in the hospital for 6 months.
Burt Kennedy made a notable decision during the production of The War Wagon by giving up half of his salary to afford hiring Kirk Douglas. This move might seem like a generous sacrifice, but it was likely a smart business strategy. Kennedy's contract probably included a percentage of the film's profits, meaning that the better the movie performed, the more money he would make over time. Having Kirk Douglas alongside John Wayne as the two leading actors increased the film's appeal and chances of success. Their star power would attract more viewers, boosting ticket sales and overall profits. By investing in Douglas's involvement, Kennedy positioned himself to benefit financially from the movie's success, turning what appeared to be a sacrifice into a calculated and profitable decision. This approach shows how sometimes giving up something up front can lead to greater rewards later on, especially in the film industry where star power can significantly impact a movie's earnings.
Treat me right.
Oh, I will, yeah.
What do you say?
Still thinking.
Howard Keel took on the role of Levi Walking Bear in the 1967 movie The War Wagon, a part that stands out as one of the film's strongest elements despite some criticism. Many viewers at the time did not appreciate that Keel, a white actor primarily known for his work in musicals, was cast as an Indian character. This casting choice sparked controversy, but Keel accepted the role out of financial necessity rather than artistic preference. His career had been largely tied to musicals, and with Hollywood producing very few musicals during that period, he found himself needing to take on different types of roles to make a living. The role of Levi Walking Bear gave him a chance to stay active in the industry, even if it meant stepping outside his usual genre. His performance added a unique dimension to the movie, reflecting both his versatility as an actor and the challenges he faced in finding work during a changing cinematic landscape.
Keep the change.
Thanks.
It appears that the horse Kirk Douglas rides in the 1967 movie The War Wagon might be the very same horse he rode in Spartacus. While this is not confirmed with absolute certainty, several viewers have noticed a strong resemblance and shared their thoughts, suggesting a high likelihood that it is indeed the same horse. This connection adds an interesting layer to Douglas's performances, as it links two of his iconic roles through the animal companion he chose or was assigned. The idea that the same horse carried him through the epic battles of Spartacus and the rugged adventures of the War Wagon creates a subtle but meaningful continuity for fans who appreciate such details. Horses often become silent partners in westerns and historical epics, and if this theory holds true, it highlights how Douglas' relationship with his horse might have contributed to the authenticity and comfort he displayed on screen. This shared equine presence could also reflect the practical side of filmmaking at the time, where trusted animals were used repeatedly for their reliability and familiarity with actors, helping to create smoother and more believable scenes. Whether or not this is definitively proven, the possibility enriches the viewing experience by connecting two memorable films through a common, if often overlooked, element.
You get that? Did you go over the route?
During the filming of The War Wagon in 1967, tensions reportedly flared between Howard Keel and John Wayne. It has been said that Keel once threatened to punch Wayne if the older actor grabbed him again while they were shooting. This suggests there was some friction on set, possibly due to Wayne's behavior or style of working. Later, in 1968, Keel turned down a role in the Green Berets, officially stating that he was committed to a theater tour. However, some believe the real reason might have been his irritation with John Wayne, stemming from their earlier conflicts during The War Wagon. This behind-the-scenes drama adds an interesting layer to the history of the film and the relationships among its stars.
It's that time.
John Wayne once mentioned that the fight scene in the saloon from the 1967 movie The War Wagon marked his 500th on-screen fight. This number is quite remarkable and gives a unique insight into the long and action-packed career he had. It's unclear who exactly kept track of this tally, whether it was one of Wayne's assistants or Wayne himself, but it adds an interesting layer to the way fans and historians view his work. Over the decades, John Wayne became famous for his tough, rugged characters, often involved in physical confrontations that defined the Western genre. Reaching 500 fight scenes is a testament to his enduring presence in action roles, and his ability to bring those moments to life with authenticity. This milestone also reflects the sheer volume of films and scenes where he engaged in combat, making him one of the most iconic figures in cinematic fight history. The saloon fight in The War Wagon stands out not just for its excitement, but also because it represents a significant point in Wayne's personal film legacy, highlighting the physicality and stamina required to perform in so many action sequences. Over the years,
We ladies.
You win, Precious.
Kirk Douglas stood apart in Hollywood for his unique stance on nicknames, especially when it came to John Wayne. Unlike most who called Wayne by his famous nickname Duke, Douglas chose to address him simply as John. This was not a casual choice, but rooted in Douglas's personal dislike for nicknames in general. He avoided using nicknames with anyone, maintaining a level of formality and respect that was rare in the industry. Interestingly, Yakima Canutt, a legendary stuntman and second unit director who was also one of John Wayne's oldest friends, shared this preference. Canutt, despite his close relationship with Wayne, never called him Duke either, and stuck to calling him John. This shared practice between Douglas and Kennett highlights a subtle but telling aspect of their relationships with Wayne, emphasizing a straightforward and sincere approach to how they addressed each other, free from the casual nicknaming common in Hollywood circles.
Was taller.
Keenan Wynn's battered hat in the 1967 movie The War Wagon has a fascinating history that reaches back to classic Hollywood. This hat originally belonged to Leslie Howard, and was worn by him as a Confederate cavalry hat in the iconic 1939 film Gone with the Wind. MGM, the studio behind both films, passed the hat on to Wynn, who first wore it during a 1942 screen test for MGM. From that moment on, the hat became a personal trademark for Wynn, appearing in every film he made thereafter. This piece of costume history not only connects Wynn to a legendary movie, but also serves as a tangible link to Hollywood's golden age, carrying with it the stories and spirit of decades of filmmaking. The hat's worn and battered look adds authenticity to Wynn's character in The War Wagon, blending real history with cinematic storytelling in a way few props can. It stands as a unique symbol of continuity in an actor's career and the enduring legacy of classic films. Burt Lancaster was originally offered the role of Lomax in the 1967 film, but decided to turn it down because he did not want to work with John Wayne. This decision led to Kirk Douglas taking on the part instead. Despite the change in casting, John Wayne himself was not very fond of the final version of the film. However, he did express admiration for Kirk Douglas's performance, finding his portrayal of Lomax to be genuinely funny and entertaining. Wayne appreciated the humor Douglas brought to the role, even though the overall movie did not meet his expectations. This dynamic between the actors and their views on the film adds an interesting layer to the story behind the scenes of The War Wagon.
He handles them like you do a gun.
At 49 years old during the filming of The War Wagon, Kirk Douglas took on the challenge of performing most of his own stunts, showing a remarkable level of physical commitment and bravery. This dedication added a layer of authenticity to his character and the action scenes, making the movie more engaging for the audience. Despite their very different political views, Kirk Douglas and John Wayne managed to maintain a good working relationship on set. John Wayne was known for his conservative beliefs, while Kirk Douglas leaned strongly toward liberal ideas. Their political differences did not interfere with their professionalism or the chemistry they brought to the film. Instead, they focused on their shared goal of making a great movie, demonstrating that people with opposing views can still collaborate successfully. This dynamic between the two stars added an interesting backdrop to the movie's production, reflecting a time when actors could separate personal beliefs from their craft and work together harmoniously. During the production of The War Wagon in 1967, Douglas caused quite a stir by arriving late to the set. The reason for his tardiness was that he had been shooting a commercial endorsement for the Democratic governor of California, Edmund Brown. This delay did not sit well with John Wayne, who was already known for his strong personality and dedication to punctuality on set. When Douglas finally showed up, Wayne was furious. He completely lost his temper and blew his top, showing just how unglued he became over the situation. The tension between the two men was palpable, and it reflected the high-pressure environment of the film's production. This incident added an unexpected layer of drama behind the scenes, showing that even in the midst of making a classic Western, real-life conflicts and frustrations could erupt. The day after finishing his work on The War Wagon, John Wayne was not on the film set. Instead, he took time to shoot a commercial to support Ronald Reagan's campaign for governor. This move showed Wayne's active involvement in political causes beyond his film career. Meanwhile, The War Wagon itself opened as the #1 movie at the domestic box office in 1967. It drew large audiences and earned almost $10 million in total revenue. This strong box office performance marked the film as an overwhelming success during that year. The combination of Wayne's star power and the movie's popularity helped secure its place among the top westerns of the time.
Ain't much, never mind. About the same here as it was with...
As the dust settles on the rugged trails and high-stakes heists of this classic Western, our journey is far from over. Behind the grit and gunpowder lies a tapestry of stories about the people who brought these characters to life. What became of them once the cameras stopped rolling? In this bonus segment, we delve into the surprising paths the cast took after the final scene. Some faced unexpected challenges, others found new fame, and a few vanished into obscurity. Their lives off-screen are as compelling and unpredictable as the story we just witnessed. Stay with us as we uncover the real tales behind the legends of the War Wagon.
I can tell you what I'm good for. Explosives.
Bruce Cabot's portrayal of Frank Pierce in the 1967 film The War Wagon stands as a stark embodiment of rugged determination and shadowed motives. His character carried a brooding intensity, a man shaped by hardship and hardened by the unforgiving landscape around him. This role, though not the peak of his career, showcased his ability to inject depth into a supporting character, lending the film a layer of gritty realism. After this performance, Cabot's career slowed, marked by fewer roles and a retreat from the spotlight. His life off-screen was equally turbulent. Known for his volatile temperament, Cabot faced several personal struggles, including battles with alcoholism and strained relationships within Hollywood's tight circles. Rumors of financial difficulties and brushes with the law added to the darker chapters of his story. Despite these hardships, he maintained a loyal fan base who admired his raw, unpolished presence on screen. The last known information about Cabot points to a quiet withdrawal from public life, with little recorded after the late 1970s. His legacy remains that of a man who burned bright but brief, his life a complex mix of talent, turmoil, and mystery.
Straighten out that kid. You know, Pierce upped the ante on you. You're worth $12,000.
Howard Keel's portrayal of Levi walking bare in the 1967 film The War Wagon marked a rare departure from his usual roles, embodying a character layered with stoic strength and a shadowed past. This role, though not the centerpiece of his career, hinted at a darker complexity beneath Keel's typically charismatic screen presence. Following this period, Keel's career faced significant shifts as the golden age of musicals waned, and his transition into television and occasional film roles was met with mixed success. Beyond his professional life, Keel's personal story was marked by quiet struggles, including a battle with alcoholism that threatened to derail his career during the 1970s, and a turbulent marriage that ended in divorce. Despite these hardships, he maintained a dignified public persona, rarely allowing his private troubles to overshadow his work. In later years, Keel found renewed respect through stage revivals and television appearances, though he remained a somewhat enigmatic figure, retreating from the spotlight. His final years were spent away from the public eye, with only sporadic updates confirming his health and well-being. The mystery surrounding his later life only deepens the intrigue of a man who once commanded the screen with such commanding presence.
You're a pretty little girl.
Bruce Dern's portrayal of Hammond in the 1967 film The War Wagon was marked by a cold, calculating menace that lingered beneath a calm exterior. His character was a quiet force, embodying a simmering threat that added depth to the film's tension. This role reinforced Dern's ability to play complex antagonists, a niche he would continue to explore throughout his career. After this period, Dern's life and career took on a darker, more turbulent edge. He faced professional ups and downs, including being blacklisted in Hollywood during the late 1960s for his outspoken political views, which cast a shadow over his opportunities. His personal life was no less complicated, with rumors of strained family relationships and struggles with alcoholism, which he later confronted openly. Despite these hardships, Dern experienced a late career resurgence, earning critical acclaim for roles in films like Coming Home and Nebraska. In recent years, Dern has maintained a relatively low profile, occasionally appearing in films and interviews, revealing a man who has weathered storms both public and private with a quiet resilience. His story remains one of persistence amid shadows, a testament to the often unseen battles behind the screen.
How much?
Your share.
Robert Walker Jr. took on the role of Billy Hyatt in the 1967 film The War Wagon, portraying a character marked by youthful energy and a hint of recklessness that added depth to the film's tension. This role, while not the peak of his career, showcased his ability to bring complexity to supporting parts. After The War Wagon, Walker's career followed a winding path through television and film, with notable appearances in series like Star Trek and The Invaders, often cast as troubled or enigmatic figures. His personal life, however, was shadowed by struggles with substance abuse and the weight of living up to his family legacy. His father was the well-known actor Robert Walker. These challenges led to periods of withdrawal from the spotlight and limited his potential for stardom. In the 1980s and 1990s, Walker made fewer appearances, retreating into a quieter life marked by bouts of instability. Despite these hardships, he remained a figure of intrigue, embodying the archetype of a talented actor haunted by internal demons. The last known information places him living away from public view, with little to no recent activity in the entertainment world, leaving his current status somewhat of a mystery.
Well, yeah.
Kirk Douglas' portrayal of Lomax in The War Wagon marked a distinct point in his career, embodying a hardened, cunning figure driven by revenge and grit. Lomax's character was a testament to Douglas's ability to blend toughness with subtle vulnerability, a quality that defined much of his work. After this role, Douglas's career shifted away from the leading man spotlight, yet he remained a significant figure in Hollywood. His life beyond the screen was marked by both triumph and turmoil. He survived a near-fatal stroke in 1996, which left him partially paralyzed and challenged his resilience. Douglas was also known for his outspoken nature, often clashing with Hollywood's establishment and confronting the blacklist era head-on by hiring blacklisted writers. His personal life included multiple marriages and the public struggle with his son Michael's battles with addiction, adding layers of complexity to his public persona. Despite these hardships, Douglas remained a symbol of endurance and reinvention. In his later years, he focused on writing and philanthropy, sharing his story through memoirs and interviews. The last known updates highlight his continued influence on cinema and his family's ongoing legacy in the industry. Laura Nolan's portrayal of Kate in the 1967 film The War Wagon was marked by a quiet strength and subtle complexity, adding depth to a role that might have otherwise been overshadowed by the film's rugged Western themes. Her character carried a blend of resilience and mystery, reflecting Nolan's ability to convey emotion with minimal dialogue, which left a lasting impression despite limited screen time. After The War Wagon, Nolan's career shifted away from the spotlight. She appeared sporadically in television and film throughout the late 1960s and early 1970s, but never regained the momentum of her earlier years. Her personal life, however, was far from serene. Reports surfaced of struggles with mental health and a battle with substance abuse, casting a shadow over her later years. These hardships, coupled with a retreat from public life, contributed to her fading from mainstream attention. There were whispers of tumultuous relationships and a few brushes with the law, but details remained scarce, shrouded in the kind of silence that often surrounds those who vanish from Hollywood's glare. The last known information suggests Nolan chose a life of privacy, living quietly away from the industry and public eye. No confirmed updates have emerged in recent decades, leaving her story suspended in a quiet, unresolved chapter.
Indian. I know my people. To them, it's flour.
Flower, what about the gold?
As far as they know, it's...
Keenan Wynn's portrayal of Wes Fletcher in the 1967 film The War Wagon stands out as a gritty, unyielding character who adds tension and complexity to the story. Wynn brought a raw, almost restless energy to Fletcher, a man shaped by a harsh world, which mirrored the darker edges of his own life beyond the screen. After the film, Wynn's career continued steadily, but his personal life was marked by struggles often hidden from public view. He faced battles with alcoholism that shadowed his later years, impacting both his health and professional opportunities. Despite his undeniable talent, Wynn's off-screen challenges sometimes overshadowed his work, leading to a decline in prominent roles. He also endured strained family relationships, a lesser-known but significant aspect of his life's darker narrative. His resilience kept him working into the 1980s, yet the toll of his personal demons was evident. The last known details of Wynn's life reveal a man who, despite his struggles, remained a dedicated actor until his passing in 1986. His legacy is one of complexity, marked by both brilliance and hardship, leaving a mysterious aura that lingers in the shadow of his performances.
Tar Jackson's in town.
What?
He's out on parole.
Where is he?
Sheb Wooley's role as Snyder in the 1967 film The War Wagon marked a distinct point in his acting career, showcasing his ability to inhabit characters that carried a tough, gritty edge. Snyder was not a leading role, but Woolley brought a quiet menace and depth to the part, which resonated with audiences familiar with his rugged screen presence. Beyond acting, Woolley's life was layered with complexity. He was also a singer and songwriter, known for the novelty hit The Purple People Eater, which contrasted sharply with his darker, more serious roles. His career was not without controversy. Woolley faced struggles balancing his music and acting ambitions, and his personal life was marked by periods of isolation and financial difficulty. He rarely spoke publicly about these hardships, adding to the enigmatic aura surrounding him. Late in life, Woolley retreated from the spotlight, living quietly until his death in 2003. The last known details about him reveal a man who, despite brushes with fame and fortune, remained a private figure, leaving behind a legacy marked by both creative success and personal mystery. Chuck Roberson's portrayal of Brown in the 1967 film The War Wagon stands out as a quietly intense presence amid the film's rugged landscape. Brown is not a leading character, but Roberson's performance lends a grounded authenticity to the role, capturing the grit and danger of the era with a subtle menace that lingers. Beyond this film, Roberson's career was marked by his work as a stuntman and character actor, often appearing in westerns alongside legends like John Wayne. His life off-screen, however, was shadowed by hardship. Struggles with injury were common due to the physical demands of stunt work, and whispers of personal battles with addiction surfaced in Hollywood circles, hinting at a darker side behind the tough exterior. Roberson's private life remained largely out of the spotlight, though occasional reports suggested turbulent relationships and financial difficulties in later years. After his final roles in the late 1970s, he faded from public view, with little verified information emerging about his later years. The last known details paint a picture of a man who quietly withdrew from the industry, leaving behind a legacy wrapped in the mystery of a life lived on the edge.
On the 12,000.
Yes.
Joanna Barnes portrayed Lola in the 1967 film The War Wagon, bringing a sharp, enigmatic edge to the role that contrasted with the film's rugged Western setting. Her presence was marked by a cool sophistication, hinting at hidden depths beneath the surface charm. After the film, Barnes' career shifted away from leading roles toward character parts and occasional television appearances. Her life off-screen was marked by a mix of quiet resilience and subtle controversies. She was known for her sharp wit and outspoken nature, which sometimes put her at odds with Hollywood's more conservative circles. Personal hardships included a well-documented struggle with maintaining privacy amid growing media attention, and a brief but intense public dispute with a prominent director that affected her career trajectory. Later in life, Barnes turned to writing and lecturing, revealing a reflective and somewhat guarded personality. The last known public update placed her in relative seclusion, having retreated from the spotlight to focus on personal projects and family. Her story remains shadowed by the mysteries she never chose to fully reveal.
He says to keep our hands away from our guns.
John Wayne's portrayal of Taw Jackson in the 1967 film The War Wagon marked a continuation of his iconic presence in Western cinema. As Taw Jackson, Wayne embodied a rugged, determined character driven by revenge and justice, traits that defined much of his career. Following this role, Wayne's life took a complex turn. His career remained strong with notable films, but his personal life was shadowed by struggles. He faced health issues, including lung cancer, which he battled privately before his death in 1979. Wayne's legacy is tinged with controversy, including accusations of racism and political conservatism that polarized audiences. Despite these challenges, he maintained a loyal fan base and continued to influence the genre. His final years were marked by quiet resilience, with little public appearance due to declining health. The last known information paints a picture of a man who, while flawed, left an indelible mark on American film history.
The wagon takes 5.5 minutes to cross Stony Flats.
Gene Evans played Deputy Hogue in the 1967 film The War Wagon, bringing a quiet, steady presence that grounded the tension around him. His character was tough, but measured, a man shaped by the harsh realities of the Old West, embodying a sense of duty mixed with the weariness of years spent enforcing the law. This role came late in Evans' career, which had been marked by rugged supporting parts often portraying military men or law enforcers, roles that suited his strong, gritty screen persona. After the War Wagon, Evans' career slowed but never fully stopped. He appeared sporadically in television and film, often in westerns or war dramas, genres that had defined his work. Off-screen, Evans faced a series of personal challenges that shadowed his public image. He struggled with health issues and battled alcoholism, which affected his ability to maintain steady work. His personal life was marked by periods of isolation and quiet retreat from Hollywood's spotlight. There were no major scandals, but whispers of his difficulties circulated in industry circles, painting a picture of a man worn down by the demands of a tough career and personal demons. In his later years, Evans lived away from the public eye, rarely giving interviews or making appearances. The last known information about him indicates a man who valued privacy and solitude, choosing to live quietly until his passing. His legacy remains tied to a body of work that reflected the rugged, often unforgiving characters he portrayed, with Deputy Hogg standing as a testament to his ability to convey strength and complexity without grand gestures. The War Wagon stands as a classic example of 1960s Western cinema, marked by the powerful performances of John Wayne and Kirk Douglas. Both actors faced unique challenges during their careers, Wayne balancing his iconic status with evolving film trends, and Douglas overcoming personal struggles while maintaining his star power. The film's blend of action and humor captured the spirit of its time, making it memorable for many viewers. If you watched The War Wagon during your childhood, think back to what made it special for you. Did it spark a love for westerns or remind you of family movie nights? Share your memories and stories in the comments below. Hearing your experiences helps keep these moments alive for new generations.
Nitroglycerin.
Nitro? Wes?
Yeah?